Hey there, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Rise and Receive, your 10-minute morning send off. Actually, it's going to be more than 10 minutes. Your morning send off designed to support you in receiving what you most want by unlearning struggle. So, for those of you who've been waiting and right on time, I apologize for the delay. Ran into some technical difficulties, but I am here ready to go. And today's topic is why receiving is the most generous thing that you can do. So, if you've been following these Rise and Receives for a while, if you understand and already know me, by the way, if you don't, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author. What I bring to you each morning is I highlight and illuminate receiving as its own tangible skill set. And if you have been showing up and learning about receiving through these Rise and Receives, the thought may have occurred to you at some point, which is, well, receiving sounds great, because I'm here because I'd like to learn to receive, certainly for myself. But I really wanted to highlight how it's incredibly generous. It is a contribution to all of those around you, to the world at large. And we tend to think about contribution and service and making a difference often through the lens of the doing model of power. What can I do for others? I want to help others. Okay. And so what receiving does is it illuminates the being model of power, which is just as necessary as doing to navigate this physical world. And yet it can be so much easier, so much kinder, so much more fulfilling, because when you realize that you've been over relying on the doing model of power, you realize that you're going to be hitting limits. And that's usually what brings people to receiving. It's kind of like, I've been working hard, I've been working for a long time, I've been waiting, I've been putting in my time, I've been paying my dues, and it still isn't here yet. And even if I get that thing, whatever that thing is, it's almost like it doesn't last. And that's why, because there's a very important balancing aspect to all of that doing, which is if you don't know how to receive, you're not going to receive what you want. It's that simple. It really is its own skill set. So what I do each morning is I pull one card from my brand new Receive card deck, which has a receiving principle that I illuminate and then let inspire my message for today. So I am not going to read the entire card, but I will include a link to it because there's a lot here. And today I'm going to use it to really talk about how receiving is the most generous thing that you can do in quotation marks. After I read an excerpt, I'll also give you your willingness mantra so that you can go off into your day. And the willingness mantra is designed to activate the power of invitation. And invitation is one of the most incredibly powerful ways to invite the kindness of life. Willingness is about invitation, and invitation is the counterbalance to the doing model of power, which focuses on intention. So sit back, if you'd like, close your eyes, let these words wash over you, and really see what this message today has to offer you. So today's card is Receive compassion. Receive compassion. The capacity to receive is a way of being. Like a majestic tree, which examines nothing and takes no action, the tree is fulfilled by simply being. Beyond that, the tree's impact and influence upon the world comes by way of standing, staying, and sharing. It stands as a living, breathing invitation to all of life. It never tries to change itself or the external world. It owns its innate value and exemplifies natural worthiness. It receives everything it could ever need simply because it exists. It welcomes countless life forms, insects, birds, squirrels, wildlife, civilized life, humans, and on and on and on. It stays where it is planted. It sees no lack, for it knows that it is a part of life, and life is whole and complete. It would not exist if there were no earth or water or heat or sky. So it experiences life fully and receives all that life offers. As it does, the tree grows, expands, and occupies more and more space, power, and presence. It shares its entirety expansively. It provides soothing respite as cool shade and a place to rest. It offers beauty through its colors, textures, and flowers. It circulates nourishment as it bears fruit and releases its seeds abundantly across the land to further impact, serve, and give. If receiving were a tree, compassion would be the rich, nourishing soil in which the roots grow strong and deep. When we embark on the journey of learning how to be fortunate receivers, we practice becoming more and more aware about how we are focusing our attention. If you focus your attention on yourself with blame, criticism, judgment, or shame, you will struggle. For this type of attention is toxic. The soil of your existence, that moment-by-moment awareness where you live, becomes like poison. Like a tree planted in toxic earth, your roots will become weak and your capacity to receive will grow. Like a tree planted in toxic earth, your roots will become weak and your capacity to receive, grow, and contribute will suffer. However, if you focus your attention on yourself with compassion, you will flourish. Instead of being mean, demanding, and unforgiving of yourself, you fertilize the soil of your awareness instead. So, receive compassion. Your willingness mantra for the day is, I am willing to receive compassion from myself. I am willing to receive compassion from myself. Now, how is receiving the most generous thing you can do? Well, I really want to talk a little bit about the symbol of the majestic tree and the symbol of the hunter, because those are the ways I really like to talk and teach about the being model of power and the doing model of power. Now, the hunter, who does some thinking and planning and action, manifests and produces outcomes and results with words and energies and verbs like insertion, conquering, capturing, building, finding. Okay, these are all ways that we manifest, and we are very well trained in it. We've come to rely on it and even over rely on it. But here's the thing about the hunter model. It's finite. Once you get that thing, you're done. That's it. You're done. And a lot of people think that that's what receiving is about. But that's actually about getting. Now, when you think about impact and influence, a hunter or a builder or a warrior can occupy land and conquer and insert itself into other spaces. There's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of manifesting that happens in that kind of a way of looking at manifestation. The majestic tree is just as powerful in occupying space, in impacting, in spreading what it has to offer, in influencing, okay? But instead of insertion and conquering and capturing and building and being finite, the reason the majestic tree embodies an incredible generosity as well as manifestation is that it is rooted in energies like growing, unfolding, revealing. Its ability to occupy, impact, and influence is in expanding what is already here. It's an unfolding and a blossoming of what is already here. Now, one of the reasons it's even more generous is that there's the energies of endlessness and more. Endless and more. And the reason for this is instead of being finite, what the tree does is it simply is being. and it receives all day long. But what it's receiving is the flow of life, which is endless. So when you become really good at becoming a fortunate receiver, it means you become really good at staying open and receptive to the flow of life, the flow, the flow, the flow. So you literally become a vehicle for the flow of life, which is endless. And the way you end up contributing and being generous is you literally become like a fountain. You literally become like a fountain. So that's one of the ways that it's incredibly generous, is the endless nature of it. The other way that it's incredibly generous is the more factor. Okay, when you are a hunter, you are limited to what you can do with your mind and your body in the physical world, and then the outcome that you produce is finite. But when you are a receiver of the kindness of life, you are literally summoning everything that life has to offer beyond you. And so when I have clients who take the Receive course and start to tap into the power of receiving and manifestation with the principles of receiving, what they receive is beyond their upper limits, beyond what they can conceive of their mind, beyond what they can do with their body, and beyond their physical timeline. This is why people will start receiving, and within 3 weeks, 3 modules of the course, they start getting sales. They start getting attention from people that they want to have romantic relationships with. They start manifesting opportunities and job offers. And it seems like a miracle. It comes out of nowhere because they are not limiting what they are able to manifest. They become this wide open invitation, wide open. So you are able to manifest more. You are able to manifest faster. You can't control it. You cannot control it. The hunter is control, conquer oriented. Okay. This is the opposite. It's messy. It's unpredictable. It's just like the flower. Or the tree. You can't build a tree. You can't conquer a tree. You can't hunt a tree. You can only grow a tree. So you don't have any control. But as you keep the space open, fertilized, well nourished, then the magic of the endless supply and bounty reveals itself. All right. So compassion is the energy of receiving everything with kindness, with acceptance, without judgment, without shame. It's receiving everything, all aspects of you. And as you practice that with yourself, again, I am willing to receive compassion from myself. You become the embodiment of being able to receive all of life with compassion, which means you develop the ability to receive things that are difficult. But as I love to keep quoting here, pain is inevitable. There will be pain, there will be discomfort in life, but suffering is optional. So yes, you receive all of life with compassion, but then the flow keeps going and the kindness is never far behind. I love to say, if you seek the kindness of life, you will find it. You will find it. So the key to receiving is always first and foremost in awareness. How are you directing your awareness? With judgment, with shame, with criticism, or with kindness, with receptivity, with permission, with gentleness, with compassion? Okay, there's always kindness, but you must be willing to seek kindness and receive kindness, to experience kindness, and generously be a flow of kindness to others. So I hope this is helpful. And Colette, thank you. I'm glad that you liked the description. I'm glad that's helpful. I really like to try to teach with as much metaphor and symbolism so that it becomes more concrete to us in our own lives. If you like this, please like, please share, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you're on YouTube. And if you want to learn more about how to become a fortunate receiver, 2 resources that are very accessible right now, and I'll include the links, are you can sign up for early bird notification of when the Receive card deck becomes available, and it's really, really soon. It'll be available on Amazon for pre-orders, and it'll be coming out and published in the new year. And that link is receiveCardDeck.com. And if you want to really easily start practicing how to create a space to receive, because space is the non-negotiable. If you don't have a space in which to receive, you can't receive anything new. All right. You can explore my 30-day challenge where you will receive one email every day for 30 days with a tiny little micro teaching and guidance, and 15 minutes a day of space for you is all it needs. Okay, all you require. And then through creating space, you can start receiving now. And that is what the 30-day challenge is about. It's called Start Receiving Now 30-Day Challenge. Check it out. The link is receivechallenge.com. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you at the next Rise and Receive. Bye-bye.